Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've all been out pressing plenty of pennies this past week. Well, here on the channel, we have visited a wide variety of locations all over the place to collect so many different pressed pennies. But the ones in my collection that are still near and dear to my heart are where my collection all began in Walt Disney World. Now, I have visited all of the different machines throughout Walt Disney World property so many times I feel like I could find them with my eyes closed. But that's not always the case for so many other Disney guests and even other collectors in our community. And a very common question I receive on many of the videos on our website is, when you're in the park, what is the best way to find all the different penny machines? And all of you out in our wonderful community, one of the most common answers that is posted is just to use the MyDisneyExperience app. Now, to be honest, I have never actually used this app to find any pressed pennies, but that's what we are gonna do today. I wanna put the app to the test because I have also got some messages from people that say some of the locations in that app are not very accurate. So we're gonna go over to one of the Disney parks. I'm gonna load up the app on my phone and we're gonna put it to the test and just see how accurate is the locations of all the pressed penny machines throughout that park in this official Disney app. Let's get things rolling. Well, as you can see, we made it into Epcot for our little experiment here with the Disney apps. My plan is to start over here in Future World and then eventually make our way around the World Showcase. I'm going to use the MyDisneyExperience app to try and get as close to where it's showing one of the penny machines should be listed, and then we'll look around and see how accurate it is. So let's head over to the Mission Space attraction for our first location. The MyDisneyExperience app is free for your smartphone. Once you download it from the App Store and load it on your phone, just open the app, click on the search icon, start typing coin press machines, and then press Find on Map. Voila! Here we are at the Mission Space Cargo Bay gift shop. The app is showing our location right next to the machine, and sure enough, there it is. So far, we're off to a good start. Our next stop is at the Simporium, which is the gift shop for Test Track. The GPS on my phone was a little bit off, but I am inside the shop and very close to the penny machine, just inside the doors. This is the Sea Base gift shop near the Living Seas Pavilion. The Disney app is showing the machine a little further inside, but not too far from its actual location. Also note there are 2 machines here, but the app doesn't notate that in any way. Over at the Land Pavilion, this one is a bit messy. The app location appears to be the old location to the right of the Garden Grill restaurant. However, the machine is currently closer to the restrooms on the left side of the restaurant entrance. To confuse things even more, there is a second machine downstairs just near the Soarin' entrance and the Sunshine Seasons quick service that is not marked on the app in any way. Inside the ImageWorks gift shop, which is where you find yourself when you're exiting the Figment attraction, this machine is very close to the location listed on the Disney app. As we first enter into the World Showcase, we find ourselves in the Disney Trader store. The app shows the machine near the main front entrance, but it's actually near one of the side doors. Oh, and if you take a little walk through this store, you'll find that there is a second machine on the opposite side, not listed anywhere on this app. Just a short walk across the courtyard is a second very similar gift shop called Port of Entry. The location of this penny machine on the app is pretty accurate, as you can see. Now time for some pavilions, and first up we are heading to the Great White North, Canada. This machine location inside the Northwest Mercantile was spot on. In the United Kingdom, the app has this one pretty wrong. To its credit, there used to be a penny machine inside the Toy Soldier store in this location, but as you can see, it has not reopened and that machine is long gone. When they changed the machine, it was moved to the Queen's Table shop in a completely different section of the pavilion. This next location is kind of the back entrance to Epcot, known as the International Gateway. There is a store here called the World Traveler. The app has the machine a bit off from its actual location, but this store is so small it would be pretty hard to miss once you're inside. Here we are in the France Pavilion, back in the Les Halles Patisserie and Gift Shop. The application for the machine is spot on, but as you can see, my GPS was having a bit of trouble finding me inside the store. In Morocco, the machine is tucked away towards the back of the marketplace along one of the side walls. The Disney app is listing this machine location in not quite the right area, but it's not too far off. Alright, we are making some good time around the World Showcase and now find ourselves inside Japan. The machines are located just past the sake bar. Please note, however, there are 2 machines here, but you wouldn't know that by looking at this app. At the American Adventure Pavilion, the app looks to still have the old location shown. The old penny machine was just outside the Art of Disney store near the Kid Cot table. It has now been moved across the courtyard onto the Magnolia Terrace. Next, we find ourselves at the Italy Pavilion inside the wine bar and gift shop. The app has this location pretty spot on as well, but again, my GPS location was just a bit off. In the Germany Pavilion, the app is very close to being correct. If I had to nitpick, I think it's technically showing the old machine location inside the teddy bear shop, which is currently closed. The new machine is not too far away from that old location, but tucked away in the back corner. As we take a slight turn around the showcase, heading towards the finish line, we pass by the African Outpost penny machine, and the Disney app has this one absolutely correct. I took a quick glimpse at the app for this machine in the China Pavilion, and I can already say this one is also really mixed up. It's showing the machine all the way in the back of the pavilion near the wine bar, but as you can see, there is no machine anywhere around here. 2 of the machines are actually closer to the front of the pavilion, across from the quick service restaurant. But there is also a third machine inside the House of Good Fortune store, making for 3 machines inside this pavilion, none of which are marked correctly on the Disney app. In the back of the Norway Pavilion, inside the Puffin's Roof gift shop, we find one of the machines just inside the door. The Disney app has this location marked correctly, however there is a second machine further inside the shop that may be harder to find. Our last stop is over at the Mexico Pavilion. The app is showing this machine inside the main building near the San Angel Inn restaurant, but as we can see, it's no longer here, and I know for a fact this one has been gone for quite some time. Instead, the machine isn't even inside this building, it's actually outside on the opposite side of the showcase pathway, under a covered area near where the mariachi band plays. If you didn't know it was here, you may have a hard time finding it. Well, that wraps things up for here at Epcot, but this experiment had me kind of wondering how the other parks were, and maybe even some of the resorts. Are they just as accurate? Did they have as many errors? But instead of having this video run on for way too long, making you trek along with me through all the different parks, I thought I'm just going to open up the app and take a look, and based on my knowledge of the last known locations of all the machines, let's take a look at some specific examples that I notice are very wrong. At Hollywood Studios, the Penny machine labeled as Sunset Restrooms, which currently has the new Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railroad designs, on the app is shown as being located in the intersection leading to either Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, which is way off. The machine is actually about halfway down Sunset Boulevard in this little side street. Over at Animal Kingdom, the Dino Institute machine is completely missing from the app. This machine was released back in 2019, so there should have been plenty of time to get this added into the app. If you were trying to find the Penny machine at Coronado Springs Resort, the app would have you walking across the lake towards the casitas in the completely wrong direction. Instead, the machine is actually near the big convention center entrance just past the El Mercado food court. Port Orleans Riverside has another strange oddity. The app shows one of the Penny machines outside the main entrance under the porte cochere. When I click on the marker, it lists it as the Fulton's General Store location, which is nearby but inside the main building. Magic Kingdom also has a few errors that jumped out at me. First, back behind Cinderella Castle, there is a marker for Castle Couture, which closed and turned into the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique back in 2019, and that machine did not return. Not too far away in the Fantasy Fair gift shop, the app doesn't show this machine, which was released back in 2020. The last Magic Kingdom machine I wanted to go over is back up on Main Street in the confectionery. The Disney app lists this machine as just being inside, but the machine has actually been missing from this location since it reopened after a lengthy refurbishment. Okay, so what do I think about using the MyDisneyExperience app to track down all those pressed penny machines throughout the parks? I actually think it's a pretty good option. It's not perfect, but a lot of the locations that we tested were pretty accurate and very spot on. Some of them were not necessarily in the exact same spot, but very close by, and I think a quick search of your surroundings will be able to find them pretty quickly. But I do feel that the app could benefit from some additional information, like as we experienced today in Epcot, there were some locations that had more than one machine in any given area. And then we would want to know that, like in the China Pavilion, I actually had 3 different machines, but if you only found those first 2 out by the quick service, you'd probably use them and leave and not realize you completely skipped a 3rd machine inside that souvenir shop. The other thing I think would be great is if it designated whether it had 3 designs, 8, 12, we've also seen, like over in the France Pavilion, that machine only has 2 designs available, and the House of Blues restaurant over in Disney Springs only has 1. That type of information would be fantastic to know ahead of time, especially if you're trying to prepare for an upcoming trip or vacation and you're planning on squishing a whole bunch of pennies. I also would love to see the app actually include the designs available at each machine. And I mean, this is a pipe dream, but how fantastic would it be if they actually included little check boxes so we could actually mark them off as we press them, so you could use it almost like a shopping guide as we're going around all the different parks and resorts and we would know which ones we have and which ones we still need to press. I think that would be fantastic. But my biggest gripe with the app is I think Disney just needs to do a better job of keeping it up to date. We did notice quite a few locations on this app when we were testing it out that, from my knowledge, it looks like the locations they were pinpointing were from old machines that are no longer around. I mean, some of them have been gone for 2 or 3 years, which is a long time for the app not to be updated. And I think that would be a huge benefit to everyone, to not waste our time if we know that all of those pin locations on the map are actually going to take us to an active press penny machine. As with many of my previous recommendations and tips on how to prepare for a squish-in mission, I would just recommend not using this app as your sole source of information. Resources like the presscoins.com website have plenty of great checklists that you can print off and take with you to the parks, and then you can actually use them in conjunction with the MyDisneyExperience app to help you pinpoint the locations of each of the machines or the designs that you're looking for. Plus, if you can't find something, be sure to check with a nearby cast member. There are plenty of them around, and they're always very anxious to help you out whenever they can. Lastly, I'd like to give a quick plug to my own website, davidscointravels.blog, where we offer free, yes, I said free, printable maps of the different Disney parks and resorts, even Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and Busch Gardens in Tampa. Now, our maps include not just the locations of where to find each machine inside the parks, but also how many designs are available at each machine, how much it'll cost to press them, and it'll let you know whether the machine accepts cash only or credit card, as well as digital forms of payment like Apple Pay and Google Wallet. I update those maps as often as I can. As I'm sure you can tell from all the different videos we post here, I am in the parks very often, and I want to make sure that those maps are as up to date for you as possible. Now, I'm curious, have any of you used the My Disney Experience on your own vacations to track down your press pennies? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know all about it. Did it work out for you, or did you run into any of the issues of missing machines or machines in the wrong place that we did during our experiment here today? As always, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe, and as always, keep on pressing.